Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 8 properties. We've been in that kind of 5 to 10 for a while, which is, I think, a nice range. There's some good ones in today's list. So I've talked to a lot of people by email that the buyer class, for some reason, doesn't seem to work with their schedule. We can still adjust the content and we can pluck out the parts that I think are relevant to your situation and do what we call a buyer strategy session. So if you're interested in that, on your own time, at coffee shop or come by the office or whatever's easier for you. We just want to make sure you get the right information before you decide to buy a house. So just email me, let me know, just say, hey, I want to buy your strategy session, and we'll put that together for you. So no obligation, anything like that. We just want to make sure you're doing the right thing. So let's get started with today's list, 8 properties. So I think when you're selling your house, you have to be able to look at it from the other side and be able to say, can I justify this price to a buyer? Is it justifiable? Because to expect a buyer to pay $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 more than a similar previous sale is very tough to do unless there's a scarcity of competition, there's something going on. So here's the market at work in this particular complex. And I know because I've sold units recently in the 1380 Costigan, the Viva townhouses. The highest sale in here is $376 or something like that. It was the same layout as this one that we're looking at. So we've got a long living dining room, 2-piece powder room. You've got a walkout to the deck above the single garage, and there you go. And then your kitchen. So the other one, same layout as this, 2 parking spaces, sold at $376. Now this unit has nice light fixtures. The flooring is upgraded upstairs. Looks nice, and it faces green space, but that value for the green space is no more than a second parking spot. Let's say they're both worth about $10,000 plus or minus. Might be 8, might be 12, depending on the situation. So here's the thing. How do you justify that almost $15,000 jump? If we trade one for the other, parking space for green space, light fixtures aren't worth that much. Flooring on the second floor is not worth that much. It's not worth more than a couple $1,000s. So, knowing what I know about this complex, if it were my house, and again, people can do whatever they want, but if it were my house, I wouldn't list it above $379, knowing what else has happened in the market. Maybe you can justify that with appreciation week over week. We talk about the market going up $1,000 a week in Milton. Maybe that's the key to them. And like I said, sometimes with scarcity, you get lucky. And if you also look and say, how motivated is someone? Because if you don't have to move, if you just put it out there and go, if I get my price, maybe a fish bites on the hook. But that's the point I want to make, is that you have to be able to justify your pricing and where you're at. Now here's something on Suter Court, 399.9. It's a Mattamy current model. It's a village townhouse, 3 stories. There's no backyard, just a front yard and a balcony, and then you've got your single car garage. 1195 square feet. It actually feels bigger than that, I think. And this is the upgraded upstairs with the 2 full bathrooms, which I really like. There's also a little office nook, so you're not wasting a bedroom here. You have this little area that just is perfect for an office. You can also put laundry here, but doing this after the fact, putting laundry in, is very difficult. So actually not that difficult. You just run the pipes through the washroom, but then you've got electrical, and I'd rather not do it if I had the choice. Anyway, we sold this floor plan, similar finishes, $397. I've seen it sold for $404 before. So they stuck it right in the middle, and this would be an example of something that you could easily justify from a price standpoint. 319 Ruhl. We mentioned this one last week. It was at $649, so it was $650, I think. So $629 is the price, $20,000 adjustment, and I think this instantly moves it from, in the game, they were still getting showings at that price, to really hot deal. So this is about a 2,200 square foot home. Hardwood floors, you've got a nice looking kitchen, hardwood stairs, extra pantry, you've got your backsplash, you've got a granite countertop, stainless steel appliances. These are all things that people look for, I think, especially when they're moving up, when they're moving from a townhouse to a detached double garage home. They want features like that. And 4 bedrooms upstairs. And there's one around the corner on Farmstead that's a couple hundred square feet smaller with a finished basement. And I believe it's around the same price too. So now these guys are really battling head to head. And you'll see the other one on Galbraith in the list, which I'm not going to talk about in detail because we did before. That's another one that, you know, this price range right now is very interesting because there's single car garages. Some of them are actually selling $620, $630, and the double garages are just in a point where some of the comparables are a bit lower. And it might be a good time to really jump on something like this if you're in that move up position, because the townhouses are almost going for $500. So the jump and the difference is not as much as it has been in the past. I think this is a really good opportunity. So next up is McDougall Crossing, 670, home just down, a couple doors down. We sold it right in the high 650s. So finishes inside are very similar. This one's about 2,400 square feet. And hardwood floors, tiles on a diagonal, which actually looks really nice when you step over this threshold, that they're not just a square pattern. The diagonal looks really nice in this home. Granite counters, pot lights, clean and tidy, hardwood floors there, which is something the one down the street didn't have. And the sun sets right over the escarpment here. There's a park there. The neighbors are all really friendly. It feels open, it feels relaxed, it has a nice vibe in this neighborhood. So, but the view here, I mean, you can sit on this balcony above the garage and just, it's really, really nice. So there we go, they're in the game. I mean, you know, maybe they'll get something close to this, but based on what else is sold nearby, they're definitely in the right range. So there we go, that's the list for today. If you have any questions, give us a call. And remember, if you're selling your house, come up with the argument. And obviously a seller, don't do that on your own, get some help. But be able to have a conversation with your agent about how are we going to present the value of this home, how based on other sales, because buyers are all going to have access to that, especially if they're working with a good agent. How can we justify why a buyer should pay the price for this home? So anyway, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.